Hi, I'm Felicity. Let's have a get well, stay well moment on treating everyday sprains, aches and pains. Basically, ice works best for sudden sprains and strains. Ice narrows the blood vessels. This stops blood accumulating at the injury and reduces pain and swelling. Keep the sprained ankle or wrist elevated and wrapped in a cloth or thin towel. The ice should be applied for around 20 minutes through the cloth to avoid ice burns to the skin. We can remember that ice protocol by thinking of the word RICE, R-I-C-E, rest, ice, compression and elevation. Maintain this for 2 or 3 days. For ongoing muscles, aches and pains, however, we get more comfort from heat. Heat will bring blood flow to the area. This promotes healing and soothes pain while increasing flexibility. As the blood flow increases, so does the flow of oxygen and nutrients to the area, while waste materials are removed. It's a sort of local Gerson detox. Hot gel packs or heated water bottles work well for this. They're healthier than the electric heating pads, which sometimes carry electromagnetic exposure. Generally speaking, pain that is chronic and does not involve swelling will respond well to the heat treatment. As with ice, you'll want to use a barrier between the heat and your skin, such as a cloth. Apply the heat for 15 to 20 minutes at a time. You may also want to try the alternating heat and cold strategy, often recommended by physical therapists and trainers. Apply the heat for 20 minutes and then follow immediately with 20 minutes of cold. We can also use hypothermia. Far infrared saunas are a great way of heating our core, as the heat penetrates the body around 6 inches deep. It's best to get a small zip-up sauna for use at home. This way you don't have to breathe in the sweat and toxins of other people in the spa sauna. Heat shock proteins, called HSPs, are used by your cells to counteract potentially harmful stimulus. Whenever a cell is exposed to an unfriendly environment, the DNA separates in certain regions and begins to read the genetic code to produce these stress proteins. HSPs are actually beneficial, helping to both prevent and repair damaged proteins. Hypothermia increases blood flow to the heart and muscles and therefore oxygenates the cells. Hypothermia increases our endurance and stimulates new brain cells. A wonderful sleep-inducing nightly habit to detox and get well and stay well.